Hey guys, how you doing? It's Gavin here from Starfresh Personal Training, and today the topic I'm going to talk about today is NEAT. What is NEAT? NEAT's a new way apparently of losing weight. Well, NEAT is an acronym for non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Pretty complicated word, but essentially all it means is how many sort of calories you burn on a daily basis without planned exercise. So if you were a manual worker, your NEAT would be a lot higher than somebody who does a desk job. So you'd burn a lot more calories during the day because you're constantly lifting things, moving things, everything else. Okay, if you're like a postman in New Zealand or postperson in New Zealand, they ride their bikes everywhere, which would probably mean they burn a few more calories than in the UK, which when I was there, they used to drive around everywhere or walk everywhere. So that's what NEAT is, right? So it's going to be, what effect does that have on you? Well, you probably pretty much already guessed. If you don't do a lot of activity for the day and you're sitting down doing a sedentary job, you probably find that, if you're somebody that's overweight right now, it's because you don't burn a lot of calories for the day. And interestingly, I did a bit of research on the internet, and there was a study done, okay, where it was 20 healthy volunteers. There were 10 males, 10 females. 5 males, 5 females were lean, and 5 males, 5 females were a little bit overweight or mildly obese, all right? And they all had the same attributes where there was no planned activity other than what they normally did. So just looking at some notes here. So the investigation was actually searching for posture and movement. So how many, the propensity or the more likelihood the people were to walk around and do things throughout the day. And they call them movement clues, all right? And basically it varied quite significantly from one to the other. Sleep didn't vary all that much, so they were pretty constant with their sleep. But what actually happened was the lean people averaged an extra 65 calories per day. All right, so it might not sound a lot, but 65 calories extra per day they found it to be equivalent of 36.5 pounds in 1 year. So I guess if you're going to turn it into kilos, it's going to be about maybe 15 kilos maybe. I think that's right, my maths is right. Anyway, if I'm wrong, let me know. It's 2.2 kilos to a pound, so it could be even more than that. So basically what they found was that overweight people had more of a tendency to sit down more throughout the day. Now, being overweight myself, I can pretty much understand that because you're overweight, you're probably obviously a little bit heavier. Your muscles may not be able to cope with that, and you get tired a lot faster, which means you're more likely to want to sit down more. Doesn't mean you're lazy. It doesn't mean anything like that. You can't be bothered. It just means that you're more physically tired, and that's something personal for me. Okay, I remember what that feeling was like. But what they also said was that if that was actually true, it would have been seen a trend, a lot longer before than it is now, the obesity trend. But also what they found as well is that it probably could be linked to more environmental sort of factors as well. So like I said, sedentary jobs, truck drivers, bus drivers, they tend to be a little bit more overweight, not all. So if you're a bus driver or truck driver, bear with me, because they sit down a lot. Whereas a manual worker on scaffolding and building, they're usually a little bit leaner, they're a little bit more solid, a bit more muscular, okay, just because of the work they do. So technology, transportation, computer-based work sites, and then obviously portion sizes and calories. So those people are sitting down a lot. If you were like me anyway, you tended to just, if you've got sweets and cakes around in the room, you might just eat without even thinking about it. And all those things so you got a low NEAT, then you add in extra calories, and before you know, it's a perfect storm for putting a little bit of weight on. So the effect it has on you, okay, is essentially that the less calories burned, the more fat you're going to gain, and it's as simple as that. And even if let's say you're overweight right now, you go to the gym regularly, and you're still struggling, all right? What does that actually mean for you? Well, think about this in context, okay? Let's just say you sit down all day, and I'm going to jump on my Fitbit in a second. No, I won't. I'm recording on my phone, so I'm not going to do that now. So anyway, let's just say that you burn on average hardly anything because you sit all day, about 1,500 calories a day, and you work out for 1 hour in the morning. And this is an average, okay? So you might burn 500 calories off of the gym. Therefore, you've allowed yourself 2,000 calories, okay? Throughout the day to burn off. But if your energy expenditure is still sort of less than that, you're still going to be overweight, all right? Still going to be overweight. And essentially, if you're eating more than 2.5 or 2,000 calories a day, you're going to put weight on. So 2,000 calories a day isn't that hard to eat, okay? Certainly if you're opting for takeaways and you're opting for people bringing cakes and sweets, and I know it's like in work, it's the same for me. You can easily eat more than 2,000 calories. So therefore, just because you work out a day isn't going to cut it for you guys. You're not going to be able to lose weight, and because there's lots of things against you. So you got your NEAT is down, you're eating high calorie diets, and although you're exercising, which is amazing, it's still not enough to take you over the threshold. So if you're like me and you get a bit geeky with your fitness tracker, now I've got it on my thing here. On average, if I didn't do any exercise on a daily basis, I would probably only burn 2,000 calories a day. That's pretty much even less than that. I'm pretty shocking for my number of steps. So whereas Fitbit and everything will say you need 10,000 calories a day, 10,000 steps a day rather, I literally do 5. Okay, I spend a lot of time sitting down, either driving or in the office. That's just the nature of my job. I do go to the gym obviously, and I do train clients, but bear in mind, personal trainer part-time, okay? So I don't spend hours and hours in the gym, because if I did and walking around the gym, those busy days I do, my average calories are maybe 2.5, maybe even 3,000 calories, okay? So it's an awful lot, but generally it's not. So how are you going to track it? Well, you track it on my Fitbit. So I'm going to give you, I'm going to allow you to do no exercise for 1 week, all right? There you go. You just said, Gavin said not doing any exercise for a week. And all I want you to do is just do normal stuff, all right? But what you're going to have to do as well is, if you really want to make this, understand this as well, is maybe track your calories on MyFitnessPal at the same time, all right? And just compare them both. Weigh at the beginning of the week, weigh at the end of the week, compare them both. And there may be a little bit of a disconnect between calories in and calories out, because obviously foods, and I've spoken about this before, but don't worry about it. You're going to have 2 sets of numbers that you can work with, all right? So you're going to have your NEAT, because you've done nothing, and you're going to have your calories you've eaten for the week, because that's what you do. Now, you want to influence that, okay? And this is the tricky part. How do you influence your NEAT, all right? So we're not talking about exercise right now, we're talking about NEAT. If you add exercise on top, this as well, it's going to be brilliant. So, just for example, okay, I was out playing rugby with my 5-year-old and a couple of his buddies a couple of days ago. My Fitbit on, as I normally do throughout the day, and we were just, all I was doing was throwing a rugby ball, a little bit of jogs back and forth, picking up, and did that for maybe 20 minutes, maybe half an hour if that. But the interesting thing was, and I didn't notice till afterwards, that my Fitbit tracked up that I was actually doing a workout. So when I looked at my workout, I said I've exercised like 7 times last week, and I was like, oh, that's a bit odd, I've only been to the gym 5. But it actually picked up that workout, okay? So I burnt something like 120, 130 calories from just running around outside. So my NEAT for the day would have gone up, would have gone up, okay? So I burnt 120 calories. I didn't even notice, I wasn't out of breath. It was just playing, it was really, it was good fun, everything else. So can you imagine if you did that every single day, with, played with your kids or went for a little walk or anything else, and you burnt an extra 120 calories per day. Over the course of a week, that's 720 calories more than you would have done just by sitting down. So it didn't take a lot of effort, I didn't even notice, but it's all about learning and understanding, and it was actually quite cool to realize that, and so that's pretty cool. So how do you influence it? Well, I stole this from somebody. It isn't my idea, but I've seen it banded about a bit, okay, and it's called a 45-60 rule, that's right. So for every 45 minutes of a day, you set an alarm and you do 60 seconds of exercise, all right? 45-60. So what do you mean by that? Well, if you are in the office and you sit down all day, set your alarm for 40 to 45 minutes, and when the alarm goes off, get up and go for a walk, right? Walk up and down the stairs of the building if you want to. If you haven't got stairs in the building, walk around the block for 1 minute. It'll literally be done, okay? You won't even notice it. And I had a conversation with somebody the other day, and he goes, "Oh, I won't be allowed to do that." No one is going to notice that you've gone for a 1 minute walk, all right? Nobody's going to notice that. And if you look at the people, if you work with smokers, they spend more than that smoking outside in the smoking area, okay? So if you're not a smoker, even if you're a smoker, use that time and go for an extra walk, all right? Literally, it's going to it'll change your life, basically, okay? If you're somebody that's sedentary. So what you'll find is over an 8-hour day, potentially, you might have an extra 8 minutes of extra work, all right? Could be around about 100 to 200 calories a day, depending on your size and how much activity you get in. Don't worry about being sweaty and hot. I do this quite regularly, and I'm never hot and sweaty. I may have got a little bit of a puff on, but that's it. It's not enough to make you sweaty and hot. There's another thing as well. It helps you clear your head. Okay, if you can't sit at a computer screen and look at it all day long and be mentally clear all the time. It's going to give you probably a minute just to clear your head. Go off and do it, come back down, you have a fresh head, you've got some blood pumping around your body, and you feel a little bit more energized, okay? And it's a really, really amazing thing. If you do that every single day, you're going to find your NEAT activity will go up, you'll burn more calories, okay? And it's going to be really, really good for you. So let's just say, what if you can't, all right? What if you can't do that? Well, like for me, like I said, I got a sedentary job and I do try and do that, but sometimes I really can't. And it's because of the nature of my job. I'm not really in control of my day, and I react to lots of things going around. So sometimes I really can't do that. I could spend 4 or 5 hours at a place and not being able to walk around. So it's not all isn't lost, all right? I keep my weight down to quite a respectable body fat level for me, which is probably about 12 to 15% all year round. I'm not ripped, I'm not amazingly, massive muscles and anything else, but in context, I used to be 20 kilos heavier. 20 kilos heavier, that's a lot of weight, okay? And I keep that off. And all I do, I train once a day, 5 times a week. That is all I do, okay? And I only train between 30 to 50 minutes a day, all right? It's nothing mental, nothing crazy. But the trade-off of that is that I need to have my calories in check. I have to have my calories in check. So I know a friend of mine who eats basically 3,500 calories a day, and he is in incredible shape. He's one of my clients as well, because his NEAT is much higher than mine. He hasn't got children. He spends a lot of time doing mountain biking. He plays touch rugby. He races motorcycles. So his level of activity is a lot higher than mine, which allows him to eat more. All right, but if somebody is sedentary and you go into the gym once a day, you really need to get your calories in check, and it means you can't eat as much as if you were doing lots more exercise. So that's the trade-off you got. If I was able to walk more, I've got my NEAT above the 2,500 calories, wherever it is. I'd be able to eat more. I'd be able to have a little bit more treats and everything else, but I can't. So this is how I do it. I make sure I exercise, so I make sure I get my exercise in every day, because it's really important for me to do that, because if I didn't, my calories my body wouldn't burn any calories through the day because I sit down all day. But that's how you do it, okay? There's a trade-off. There's lots of ways to manipulate all this sort of thing, all right? And that's the way I found, because I really can't change it. There's not much I can do about it. But if you haven't got a directive job and you do sit at a desk, you can do this. Maybe take 2 minutes, I don't know, whatever it is for you, but just try it. So NEAT is very, very important for your overall leanness and everything else, and is also a way around it if you can't, and that's done by nutrition, which is probably not what this video is about anyway. So studies have been done. Essentially means that if you are if you do more exercise, if you walk around more, if you do more stuff outside of the gym, you are going to be leaner, okay? That's just what the studies have found. And obviously then, you get your nutrition things like that, but just think about it, just do more. Just try and do more if you can, guys. And people check around the very simple, statement is exercise and move more and eat less. A little bit more to it than that, but you get the right idea, okay? So really try what I just said to you. If you're really struggling to get extra activity a day in, try the 45-60 rule and see how you go with it. You've got nothing to lose. literally nothing to lose. You know, give it a go for a couple of weeks. And like I said, this isn't something that's going to work straight away. I'm going to walk for 8 minutes today and it's going to lose weight. You know, you're going to have to give it a month or 2 months, all right? And you know, you can use my little 30-day check sheet thing, or the little habit tracker that I put. I've done a video about, which I'll link below for you guys. Use it, and that's going to help you. So a lot of the time you might sit there, 45 minutes to go by, you won't even realize it's 45 minutes. If you do this little habit tracker or set an alarm on your phone, it'll go off, and then you'll just be able to, oh boom, remind me, off you go, and get it done. Have a reminder, have a cue, have something that'll bring you back to your reality, and you can go, okay, I'm going for a walk now. Do that, it'd be awesome. Love to know how you get on with this, guys. Okay, really important. If you're somebody that's overweight, you go and you're struggling and you've been going to the gym and all those other things, okay, give it a go. What have you got to lose? Nothing. Okay, that's the bottom line. All about starting fresh here, guys. Okay, because if you don't make a change today, how will tomorrow be any different? And if I got those numbers wrong, give me a shout down below. I'm not brilliant at maths. So yeah. Anyway, guys, have a good day, and I'll speak to you soon. See ya.